The history: my wife and I were married in 2008 and had our first child in 2013 and another in 2017. However, after the second child was born, I think she may have had some depression and an illness creep in around the time she went back to work. She is being in healthcare. She had easy access to prescription opiates and stimulants. This is where she became addicted right under my nose. This continued for 2 years. I thought it was caused by some unrelated illness she has. Then Feb of this year it's off to the ER because she run out of pills. What a disturbing sight, the shaking and seizure-like symptoms. However, I am still clueless. ER just gives her more pills. She finally tells her family, Dad is a doctor, and she comes clean to me, begs me not to leave her. Dad gets her through the withdrawals and she begins seeing a counselor. Well, in my feeble little mind everything is fixed. As you could imagine, someone on meds for that long is not emotionally meeting my needs or her own for that matter. Here comes the depression. I swear my wife got to a point where everything in the world, including me and the kids, were depressing. It was like the meds took her ability to be happy away. I just wait patiently for her to snap out of it. September, I discover the text messages and finally put 2 and 2 together that she is having an EA with online guy at rehab site. October 12th, I discover they are to meet and tell her to stop and do the right thing for her kid's sake. She leaves with toddler screaming, "Don't go, mommy," and I go into shock. She came back the following Sunday and I put her up in a hotel and she has since leased a new apartment. Bought all new furniture, TVs, computer, bed and bunk beds for the kids. The other man seems to be out of the picture as she told me it wasn't real. However, I quit spying when I read the 180. I have pretty much stuck to that since after the first week. Doesn't seem to get her attention though. I think she really is excited about bachelorette pad. No husband, no kids, no responsibility. At least I have my self-respect right. She has moved out. I agree the affair was another way to get high. I do not know him personally, but I do know his name. Put phone number in Facebook and pop, there he was. I have collected tons of evidence, meds, physical affair, and have paid my retainer to the attorney. I have been on the 180 pretty much the whole time. Only a few slip-ups in the very beginning. Sharing a blanket at my son's football game because it was cold. Barf. I have had a rough couple of days. See my IC at 11 today. Went to the dentist for a 6-month checkup, decided to get teeth whitening done. I would not have done that if I was still with the ex. The hardest part for me is letting go. I have always been a type of personality, and this drama is causing my body to redline and car speak. I did go out with an old girlfriend on a strictly platonic date. Man, did we have a blast. However, when it was time to go home, I got really down. Don't know if I was ready for that. STBXW meeting this evening to exchange kids. She doesn't know what the 180 is, but she is a Bruce Lee-like Zen master of it without even knowing. I have got to quit holding on. She seems to have things right where she wants them. No responsibility or kids. All the blame centered in the correct place. Me, I'm the reason she's miserable. And to top it off, all this madness occurred after she had gotten clean. Maybe for 6 months. Immediately, I went dark and have been hovering 180 ever since. To me it seems that ordinary life is an emotional death sentence to her. However, to me having 2 children ages 3 and 6 is the most precious gift I could have ever received. I lived with a drug addict for 2 years and was still happy cause of my kids. STBXW called last night asking to keep our daughter today. I told her I would drop her off this morning and did. She gave me a tour of the apartment. I hugged my little girl and got out of there in strict 180 fashion. What makes this unusual is that today is not an agreed upon visitation today. The consensus on here is to let the other parents see their kids when they want to write. I don't feel she is in any danger. Wife wants my daughter again today. Strange behavior for her. 2 days in a row, but whatever. I dropped her off this morning at her apartment anyway. Maybe she is starting to miss the kids. When we lived together, she would put our daughter in daycare so she could clean the house, actually get high on pills. Man, my emotions are like a roller coaster. Having a crappy couple of days, I guess. Why do I still want her back? She betrayed me and the kids. Pathetic. 2 weeks ago, I hung out with an old college girlfriend who recently divorced and lives about 90 miles away. Man, did I have a lot of fun. Spent the night, no funny business though. Came home, sent flowers to her work. Texted back and forth a few times. Noticed she only texted me, no phone call. About the flowers. Has since gone dark. I know she had a good time, must have a BF, and I do live pretty far away. Just what I needed, another gut punch to my self-esteem. I don't think I was ready for that. 1 date and flowers reeks of pathetic desperation, don't it? Oh well, haven't dated in 15 years. Glad I see the IC today. Maybe she will get me out of this funk. I clearly do not accept change well. Why do I have to assume change is bad? I've been on the 180 for a while, but STBXW is better at it than me. She has been on the 180 ever since she started on the meds. It's hard when I have the kids 85% of the time. I have secured a couple of dates. Hopefully, they will go well. I could use a self-esteem boost. No question about that. I will say that I have not been weak in this situation and I am proud of that. STBXW has no idea what's going on with me emotionally. I am glad I found this site early. STBXW texted again to get the kids early tomorrow. The guilt must be setting in or she just might miss her kids. She's funny. Well, today is my 2-month anniversary of D-Day. Feel better today than I did that day. Still do not understand how someone can choose meds, affairs, etc. over a loving family. The next woman I find better not mention, she tends to be a little selfish. I'll be like, this date is over. So, I get on my Facebook account and bam, the STBXW has joined the world of Facebook. I bet a lot of good is going to come from this. I wanted to punch the PC when I see that big old grin on her face. My FB page just went from public to private. Well, another wed and another tear-filled switch for my daughter. Each one of these is agonizing for me. To hear her cry out for her mommy is heartbreaking. I am still hurting today from last night's switch. Again, how do you walk out on a loving family for some man you have never met? How people put their own selfish needs in front of their children is inexplicable to me. Shouldn't I be getting over this by now? I still harbor so much pain and anxiety. I get tired way too early these days. I miss her so much. I feel pretty pathetic to miss someone who cheated on me. My poor children also. Not a good weekend. My problem working out is that I worked out 6 days a week prior to wife flipping out. Ironically, right around the time she began her drug usage. Coincidence? You are correct in that my mind is my worst enemy right now. The pain is still very much a part of me. I have had this weird crick in my neck for 2 months. Probably stress. I have not broken down on the NC portion of the 180. I know that nothing I say will bring her back. Her problems are of her own creation. She is not happy with herself, so is now struggling for an identity. I am pretty sure she is probably blaming me for her unhappiness, when in reality, her stopping the meds, painkillers, put her in a deep depression. I do have a date set. Hopefully I will not squeeze the life out of this one with my neediness like I did the last. No flowers after one date. Got some text messages saying she has to work this weekend. Happens to be her weekend with the kids. Could she have the kids tomorrow through Thursday? I tell her I'm not okay with it because the kids always stay with me on school nights. Meltdown follows. I call her to try to arrange some sort of visitation this week for her. She is obviously distraught. First showing of emotion. I ask her if she is okay and I get no, I am not okay, I miss my kids. Don't know how to handle this. She should see her kids but should have communicated all of this sooner. I do believe she detoxed herself probably about 9 months ago. However, the depression during these 9 months is what made her run. I hope and do believe she is clean for my kids and her sake. She's just messed up in the head from taking 20 meds a day for 2 solid years. My parents and I did a total makeover of my house. Bought the little girl a new bed, cleaned carpets, changed pictures. I mean, we fixed it up nice. I know she notices too but doesn't say anything on kid swaps. I am really angry at the STBXW. I missed work today to accommodate her work schedule as she agreed to take the children this weekend. I figured I could go in Friday and this weekend and play catch up. She calls me to tell me she has switched shifts so I could go out New Year's Eve. She really just wants out of keeping the kids to go to party with her friends out of town. I realize what she is doing and tell her if you don't want the kids this weekend, then tells me don't act like you are doing me any favors. I should have not shown my emotion, but this really inconveniences me and my family. I didn't raise my voice, but I did get a little passive-aggressive. I feel like texting her saying you owe your S&D an apology when you do decide to see them again. That is probably a violation of the 180 I have been sticking to. Can I use this in court against her? How do I handle this? Hurting me I can take, but my kids make me furious. What kind of woman walks out on a 3-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son? The epitome of selfishness. I am thinking since she bailed on the kids this weekend, I am not going to negotiate with her till after the holidays. If she gets mad, I just tell her you gave up your time with the kids. I am not giving up mine to accommodate you. Think of how the kids felt when I told them they were not going to see you this weekend as they were told. I am amazed at my STBXW's level of detachment from me and the kids. A couple of weeks after D-Day I went hardcore 180 on her. I threw her out immediately after discovering other men. The affair died within a week. However, she is silent and strictly kid business only. I mean, the emotional and physical affair occurred and ended in less than 2 months. Maybe the 2 years of meds addiction prior to all this helped her detach. Once you start the lying and deceiving, it snowballs. Now she's out there chasing that next high while I am at home taking care of our kids. So sad. My STBXW had it all. Big house, doting husband, beautiful healthy kids, Cadillac, 6-figure job, 0 debt. What the hell? I know. Where's my focus? Days later, STBXW dropped son and daughter off an hour late last night, but they have had their tubbies. I mentioned to the fact I was disappointed in the whole New Year's fiasco. I shouldn't take pleasure in this, but a minute later she becomes very emotional and quickly hugs her kids and hightails it out of her former home. I don't know if she just misses her kids, her home, or what. Somebody is regretting something. However, she is way too stubborn to ever let me know what it is. I'm too stubborn to ask. Anyways, she needs to become more self-aware. I know the kids can make her happy. We both take work. My STBXW has the kids this weekend. My son's first basketball game is tomorrow. Do I stay dark or do I go to the game? She knows how I always go to everything. Well folks, I had a large setback today. Sat by my ex at the game and chit-chatted mostly. Hard not to sit by her when she has my 3-year-old daughter. During our conversation she asks me if I want to hear something strange. I say what she says her ex-husband has reached out to her on Facebook and wants to meet up to talk. She said that his wife wants them to talk. What the hell? Anyways, after D-Day I wrote on Facebook Messenger to that dude that STBXW got addicted to meds, cheated on me, and walked out on her children. How about warning somebody next time? I thought it was funny but regretted sending it as soon as I hit send. I told STBXW in the parking lot of the basketball game what I had done. She was visibly upset. I feel terrible. I told her I was sorry and that I was angry at the time and regretted sending it. She clearly didn't want to talk anymore. Seeing her just makes me hurt. My stomach is in knots. What a setback. I just want to call her and reach out so bad. To see her hurt, it hurts me worse. I feel so strong most of the time. I still haven't detached enough. I can't help I loved my wife. She's had close to 3 years to detach from me. I am sure every time she lied and hid the painkiller addiction from me, she detached. You lie to somebody every day, then they become the enemy. Easy to detach then. I was just simply a doting and loving husband concerned for his wife. I am lying on the bed with my 6-year-old son and he becomes emotional. He asks me, why don't you love mommy anymore? I say, who told you this? He says, mommy said it. She said this happens with grown-ups. Way to put the blame on me. You are lying. Cheating, drug addict boss. Aren't you out on a date with your ex-husband? Man, I hate to see my son become emotional for solid reasons. I can go to timeout tears but not these, and I surely don't want the blame. I don't like being the blame for my busted family. Sure, I'm not perfect but I didn't do meds or cheat or lie. She better own it. I told my son that I did love his mother but we had grown-up problems that make it where we cannot live together right now. I wish I didn't care so much. I wasn't talking about engaging with my son. I was thinking about asking her to watch what she says to our kids, explaining what happened and how it pains me to be a bad guy. I was thinking it may have been an innocent mistake. Daddy doesn't love mommy anymore. Really, is that what happened? If I remember correctly, I got the good old I love you but don't love you anymore speech. Or how about I respect you as a person and father but we have drifted apart. Or I just can't give you what you want right now. Or maybe you are smack dab right in the middle of an IA that's fixing to go physical with another drug addict. Maybe that could be the problem. STBXW came into my work today and gave me a child support check. We had talked about splitting son's baseball registration. She screams at me, here's your check and that's all you are getting, jerk, and storms out. What the hell? I feel like texting her to find out what the problem is. Bad idea, right? She never gets mad like that. I want to know what happened. Drive her crazier if I just ignore her. She knows I am the type of guy to go chasing her down to try and fix the problem. Maybe I did do something wrong, but if you don't tell me what it is then I don't have to worry about it. I am getting there, folks, slowly getting there. STBXW comes to son's basketball practice and has made dinner for all of us. It's a roast all packaged up for me to take home. Wow, what is going on? So atypical of her. She also told me that she has been going to Narcotics Anonymous meetings and seeing an IC. My family and IC think I should attend MC with her. I am scared. Could I ever trust her as I did? That pain and anxiety are back. Why would she reach out like that? That doesn't make any sense. Hey, we reconnected, time to get all weird. My kids need their mother. I am losing it here. No support group hardly. Owning my own business. Clients don't care about my problems. Kids' homework and extracurricular activities. I don't want a nervous breakdown. Can she not imagine what I'm going through? Told me it would be selfish of her to come back now. That she would be using me as a crutch to take care of her. I cannot handle my load. Haven't had time to pay bills or get groceries. I am suffering. Got a letter from my lawyer asking me to set up an appointment. Thus, it begins. I'm so sad. She cheated. I have to divorce her. If I try to reconcile, she could change her mind and then I'm the one alone in an apartment. Man, I wish I didn't let her manipulate like she did this past week. My heart still longs for her and her latest attempt at reconciliation has really taken an emotional toll on me. It is a rare occasion that a man would get primary custody of 2 children. If I divorce, I will probably get this without a fight. Child support would be in the $1,500 to $2,000 a month range. I love my children more than anything. I could not bear to not tuck them into bed every night. I love my wife but I would be an idiot not to divorce her. She could come back and flip the situation on me. My heart and brain are fighting. Then I think what R would teach my kids. It's okay to be a doormat, or am I teaching them forgiveness? Hell, she has pulled back anyway. I enjoyed the time we spent together over the past week. I can really see why I fell in love with you so long ago. However, I am holding on to what used to be and what could have been. The reality is our marriage is irrevocably damaged. I will never again be able to look at you as I did many years ago. I must move on. Should I send it or go back to staying dark? I hate the feeling that my ex is all smug over at her apartment thinking she's in control because she pulled her skirt up and boo-hoo. I'm such a sap. I want my power back. Will sending the above give it to me? Probably should just go dark again and avoid her at all costs. I know I have to let go, but why is it so hard? She cheated, should be cut and dry. Well, dropped the S6 off at first grade and took D3 to his mommy's ducking apartment this morning. Looks like I'm back to square one with her. I think everyone is right about her only responding to strength. I just hope my telling her that the divorce is inevitable and I didn't want MC will wake her up. Doesn't seem to have worked, but my old lady can be one stubborn mule. Do you believe she really wants this time to work on herself? Could be true. I am certain that is all she hears at the Narcotics Anonymous meetings. No kids this weekend. No plans. Man, that 1 week of reconciliation set me back. Do I need to go back dark again and only answer texts about the kids and stop answering the phone? Remember, there is no other man in the picture. We are on good terms, I would say, but her mind is scrambled eggs. I am in a really bad place. Went out by myself last night. Drank way too much. Feeling really blue today. Why can I not let go? I still love my wife so much. I was doing so good until she pulled that escapade last week. I want to reach out to her so bad. I know that she needs me to be the strong one. I just am having a hard time being strong after betrayal. Damn, I hate feeling sorry for myself. I know I need to toughen up and at least start the divorce process. She needs to feel consequences for the pain she has caused the children and me. I am also afraid of losing the kids if I take her back. It is rare for us men to get custody. I guess after everything that has happened, I still haven't seen her fight to keep her family intact. Without that, I have got to move forward. We can always remarry with a prenuptial agreement stating she cannot take the kids from me. Meet with my lawyer today at 2. She is going to ask me what I want to do. I guess I can't tell her it's complicated. Well, I met with the lawyer yesterday and decided to still try and go the uncontested route. So, I did not file and the lawyer said she would handle it. She definitely soothed my nerves like an IC. Received a text from STBXW to call her after I put the kids to bed. I think about it and say okay since she has to pick the kids up from school on today. She asks me to bring D3 over to her in the morning and follow her to an auto garage to have her car worked on. I agree, not any inconvenience, and actually saves me time. However, I mention seeing the lawyer and talk to her about the D. She seems to deflect the subject and says we don't have to talk about that now. She then asks me again if it's what I want. I tell her it isn't. From then on, she acts like she is in total agreement. Don't know what I was expecting, but it still hurts. How does a woman go from crying and begging me back to okay with divorce a week later? She is not fighting to save her family. She is 100% at fault for the affair and med addiction. Of course, I tell her I want a divorce. Plan B is not in the cards for me. She wants to work on herself while still being married to me while I struggle daily with my business and our 2 small kids. She needs to work on herself. She needs to get well, but keeping me on a string is not healthy for me or the kids. If she doesn't want me to divorce her, then she better at least let me know it. That is a small price to pay for what she has done. What I want has been taken from me. I have to develop a new story. You are correct in that my mind and heart are in a constant tug of war. I have ultimately decided to divorce my wife, as painful as this is to me and my kids. You are correct that I do hope it is a catalyst for change. However, rationally I have to protect myself and the kids. I do not believe I have the personality for reconciliation. When she made the attempt at R, I did not like how it made me feel. Paranoid, hypervigilant, needy, and intense anxiety. I will divorce this woman unless she is ready to move mountains to get her family back. Even then I would not let her back in my home for fear of the kids getting hurt. It just seems all roads lead to divorce. I do tend to blame the meds maybe more than I should. We had such a happy marriage for 10 years. Meds destroyed it in her. I know that it was her choice to self-medicate and she must live with the consequences. Ultimately, I must break free of this woman, let go of the pain and get divorced. Thank you so much for your input, as that is why I come here. Text battle vent post. Her, hey, can I come over tonight? I miss the kids. I'm sorry we aren't home. Oh, okay. Are you not coming home? Later tonight. I have to work next weekend. Can we work something out? Did you work this weekend? No, then this discussion is over. You didn't even come to his basketball game on set. Your instant gratification is not my responsibility. You didn't come to his game the week before. It's not instant gratification. They are my children too. Please stick to our mutually agreed upon schedule. If you need to swap weekends due to your work schedule, I will gladly oblige given adequate time to make arrangements. This basically boils down to my wife not wanting to give her weekend up for the kids. I would gladly swap weekends with her, but I'm not letting her mess these kids' weekday schedules all up because of her selfishness. End of rant. Since I still have an outside shot at an uncontested divorce, I sent a text this morning saying that I dropped all spousal support from the settlement. Please contact my lawyer's office to sign the agreement and finalize the divorce. It's really gut-wrenching to send that to someone I used to would die for. However, I got custody of 2 beautiful kids, an awesome house on 5 acres, and a very substantial child support payment to help me maintain the kids where they are at. I can hold my head up high and keep moving forward. STBXW just texted, is your dad coming to son's basketball game tomorrow? Too ashamed to show up, are you? I don't blame you. He's going, maybe I should tell her no and bring my video camera. Keep wanting to contact my wife and tell her to sign the papers. I guess my best bet is to mention it casually at a kid swap rather than call or text her. Feeling blue today, probably because I have had to work 14 straight days. I think I am going to have a hard time meeting someone new. I am just too busy with my business and kids to put the time and effort to meet someone and then date. I really need some male friends here locally. I wish I never moved from my hometown. I am just venting. The reasons for wanting to contact her is an issue I need to solve within myself. She cheated, plain and simple. She's not trying to move any mountains to put her family back together. Any attempt to contact her is weakness on my part. I need strength. I know what I have to do. Worry about me and the kiddos. Dropped my D off at STBXW's apartment. Gave her a nudge about signing the divorce papers. She told me that she has an appointment with her lawyer this Thursday morning to go over them. I was hoping she would just sign them. Now she has got a greedy lawyer involved. I don't want this to turn into financial Armageddon. Definitely don't understand how you go from wanting to a couple weeks ago to divorce attorney this week. I guess my overinflated ego keeps thinking she will break down and plead with me. I know that either way, divorce is my only viable option to ensure I keep my kids. I just have to keep telling myself this. She is not the same person I married. She is not the same person I married. She is not the same person I married. I think I am more afraid of being alone than anything. That gives me hope. It's not her. I just don't want to be alone. I had a very lonely childhood with no brothers and sisters. Parents who were really uninterested in me. So, I had to spend a lot of time in my imagination. Speaks to why I am so affectionate within my two kids. Having a really sad morning. The 180 is so hard when children are involved. My ex is steadily wanting to see them more and more. I vowed to myself to be accommodating for the kids' sake. However, she decides to tag along to basketball with me last night. This morning I see her again as I drop my D off at her place. Too much time with her makes me very blue. I hardly speak to her and I see her try to make small talk to break the uncomfortable silence. Mourning the loss of my wife again this morning. I'm fine and I'm getting stronger. Getting to the point where indifference is setting in. Saw her several times over the weekend with basketball and baseball tryouts and such. Starting to notice flaws. She just doesn't seem to be as beautiful as she once did. Yay, I definitely need some cooking classes or my own kids are going to divorce me. Did I mention on here that my ex actually divorced her own parents at 16 and her first husband at 20? By George, I think we got a runner. Married me at 22. I also noticed a big old rash on her chest. Don't know what that was. Hope it's stress. She has already had that moment once. I did not think I was seeing the kind of remorse I should be seeing. I told her no when she suggested marriage counseling. I told her she should have recommended that before cheating on me. Some people don't like the stresses of work, household, and kids. Our spouses seem to be two that are not capable. They are into me time. I wish my wife could show the kind of remorse it would take to win me over. I think she is too selfish to sustain it. 1 month ago, she had called me crying wanting her family back. She wanted to and rug sweep everything. Unfortunately, I was too weak and vulnerable. I slept with her. I was needy and unattractive. She then pulled away from me, told me she wasn't ready for this and would be using me as a crutch to solve her problems. I lied, but I told her I agreed totally. Broke my heart. She brought the kids home to me a few days later and suggested the marriage counseling. I declined. I felt at the time I needed to be in control. A man about it. The week we tried to reconcile, she was not showing the remorse I think would be necessary for I felt like plan B. If she wants to be with me, shouldn't she be giving it her all? She has been an IC since before the affair. She shows me no desire to want to work things out. Told me that her lawyer was reviewing the divorce settlement. Have not heard back. Never talks to me about relationship or divorce. I would like for her to reach out first. Accept responsibility for what she has done. Effort is what I want to see. Lots and lots of effort. Remorse would be good too. Not that boohooing crap she did last month because she was lonely over the holidays. I am talking regret for the pain she caused me and especially the pain my precious son and baby girl have endured. I don't think she's capable. Not the greatest childhood. Never has been the affectionate type. She legally divorced her own parents for Christ's sake. Well, she did go see the lawyer. Her lawyer wrote my lawyer a letter. Wants me to change some things in the divorce settlement. Fixing to go home and look at it. Why am I so sad? I guess part of me thought that she was bluffing. I guess this is it. Seeing the papers really set me back. It's the end game. My marriage is over. I get primary custody, home, child support, but what I don't get is a loving wife. My comment. Part 2 coming tomorrow. Do you guys think OP is strong or weak here? Although he got her out of the house right away, a part of him still wants the mother to be around his kids. Comment down below. Sub and bell and I'm going to go back on